Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I'm the teacher, Dan.
I'm one of the students, Morg.
And I'm one of the other students, Devon.
And we have begun a new year. It has been a full month since the last episode went up. It's been quite a month and shift into a new year. But of course, the only important things we need to talk about on this podcast are related to Sonic the Hedgehog. So, ignoring anything else, and there's quite a bit to ignore, we've got two things to quickly go over. First off, it's 2021, the 30th year of Sonic.
Woohoo!
Happy birthday, Sonic.
Happy birthday. Yeah, Sonic, the original Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis came out in 91, which also means it's the 20th anniversary of Sonic Adventure 2, the 15th anniversary of Sonic 06, and the 10th anniversary of Sonic Generations.
Damn. They just really like to release on...
Yeah, like, a lot of big releases come out on the... I would assume the next game they're planning is to come out this year for the 30th. Hell, even Forces was, like, supposed to be a 25th thing that came out a year or two late. Here's the other bit of news. There was a tweet around, December 10th of last year, posted by Netflix, advertising an upcoming 3D animated Sonic series by Wild Brain and Man of Action that was then immediately deleted.
Whoops.
More like Man of No Action.
Yeah. Like,
Hey.
Like, this is from a verified account, NX on Netflix. My only guess is, like, maybe it is in development, maybe it isn't. But either way, this was, like, a scheduled tweet, and they forgot to, like, delete it ahead of time.
Yeah, maybe it was like... all the COVID shit, maybe, like, delayed stuff.
Yeah, probably. But what the tweet said was, rings? Check. Sneakers? Check. Speed? Sonic. Sega's legendary video game icon, Sonic the Hedgehog, races onto Netflix in a new 3D animated series from Sega, at Wild Brain HQ, and at Man of Action Ent, premiering in 2022.
Oh, I mean, you know. They still have a year.
They got time.
Yeah. We'll have to check in 2 years from now. Or whenever the next update on that is posted.
Or
Maybe
1 year from now, if it's early 22.
Oh my god, I forgot it's 2021. I forgot.
Exactly.
Oh.
Morg, you said that, and my brain had to process, and I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Oh my god.
I thought that might have happened. That's why I was just gonna let it sit there for a second. I was like, they probably forgot. I constantly forget. At work, I have to, like, cross out dates all the time. I'm like, no, it's not January 2020. No.
Man of Action, their previous big show was this Mega Man cartoon that nobody remembers that came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
What?
There's a Mega Man? What?
Yeah, there was a...
You don't mean like NT Warrior or anything, right?
No, it was
okay.
A relatively recent Mega Man cartoon. When I say relatively, I mean like a couple years back. That I don't think anyone has remembered or cared about, but very much exists and was basically Ben 10.
Yo!
Oh, no.
Mega Man.
I know there's like a Pac-Man cartoon for some reason.
Actually, let me just check for real.
August 2018.
This was... Oh my god.
2018. Man, this looks bad.
Oh boy, looking at there...
I gotta see.
I don't like looking at his face. I don't.
I'm just surprised no one... I'm surprised no one in, like, my circles made fun of it, you know? Like, usually if something looks like shit and is based on a property like that, it's, like, made fun of.
Like, people talked about it when it first came out, and then everyone forgot about it.
Man.
TV show cast. Interesting.
Mega Man fully charged. Yeah.
Damn.
Boy, oh boy. Well, I guess there's a reason no one talks about this. This thing doesn't look like it made any impact at all.
Yeah. As far as, like, other stuff they've done, like I said, they did Ben 10. They did one of the Spider-Man cartoons.
Started alien device of what it did.
They did
that than I'd like to admit.
Yeah. As far as Wild Brain, they're more of like a sort of like parent company who are behind things like they own Peanuts, they own Strawberry Shortcake, they own the company that made Teletubbies, they own
I didn't know those were all the same company.
it owns all those companies. Like,
oh, okay.
It owns Cookie Jar, which is like all of Deke Entertainment, so I guess we're relatively familiar in that regard.
So there is a possibility of a Ben 10 Strawberry Shortcake crossover.
God.
Maybe.
I'm now imagining the fighting game that stars Ben 10, the Peanuts, and Strawberry Shortcake.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds great, actually.
You know I'm thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Put Ben 10 in Smash.
They make a lot of cartoons. But we're not here to talk about cartoons. We're here to talk about comic books. Specifically, comic books that came out in the United Kingdom across the 90s. We are finally talking about Sonic the Comic.
No more Stay Sonic. Wow, this Sonic looks kind of wonky.
Yeah, these early issues, there's like a whole bunch of different artists, and like, some of them look pretty good, some of them look sort of, Sonic the Comic is like one of the ones that really genuinely gets good, but first we've got to get through this, like, first year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I wanted to, issue some corrections. First, Mark Miller, who is one of the writers of this comic, is not Rob Liefeld. I thought Mark Miller and Rob Liefeld were the same person. They're not. But, Mark Miller is, famous for writing various superhero comics, including Kick-Ass, various, Big Two productions. He's from Scotland, and he's also pro-Brexit. And the other thing is, we talked at some point about Right Said Fred, and I forgot, like, their most famous thing, which is they're the ones behind the song Too Sexy.
Too sexy for my shirt.
Too sexy
for my clothes.
Yeah. Alright. So, Sonic the Comic, at least at this point in the series, is sort of like a mix of, like, a comic book and sort of a gaming magazine. Like, it's divided up into 4 comics. The first one is always a Sonic comic, and the next 3 are usually about other Sega properties. Sometimes there's a backup Sonic story. For instance, in the first couple issues, there's a Sonic comic, there's Shinobi, Golden Axe comic, and Wonder Boy. Between each of these comics are these intervening sections talking about the sort of things that you normally see in a video game magazine. There's like a news section, there's a cheat code section, there's a review section. It's interesting. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it, and from what I understand, this wasn't even like a super common structure for comic books in the UK. Like, the one thing it like sort of shares with UK comics, well, in addition to like actual staff, is that UK comics are very built around being quick and short, so you can like pack multiple stories in one issue. Yeah. Just trying to get as much said in like as few pages as possible, and it's pretty neat. It's neat. Like, as I mentioned, a lot of people who worked on this also were on 2000 AD, most famous for publishing Judge Dredd comics.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. We'll just real quick go over the Sonic comics, and maybe someday we might dedicate time to other stuff. I definitely want to talk about Decap Attack, maybe talk about Shinobi. It looks pretty stylish. So, to start, there's issue 2, RoboFox. In this one, Sonic has to deal with Tails, who has been turned into a weird cyborg by Dr. Robotnik.
He has funny robot tails, too.
Yeah. Yeah, in this art, like, his tails are encased in like, metal. Throughout this...
Sorry, robotification seems very temporary, at least in this comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's in most Western continuities, it's permanent, but in lot more lighthearted or like non-American stuff, it's usually just you break it, they get out. Let's see. So yeah, notable in this comic also is just Sonic wearing shades a lot because he's cool. And,
Sick.
Yeah, he tries out some...
You're damn right he is.
Also, his shoes got fucked up.
Yeah, he tried on a new pair of shoes, but they got broken, so after the fight, he just goes back to his old ones. Yeah. Yeah, moving on to, let me see. Issue 3. Like I said, I'm just gonna try to go through these in a relatively brisk pace. This one takes place in the Marble Zone and has a noticeably different artist. Let me check.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the credits. Shit, I don't see them in this issue, but they're usually in the margins. But this artist is very different. It's much more of a, like, shinier style. The first one's sort of a very basic style. Let me just check. The first issue was the first issue also drawn by Mark Miller? No, the art in the first issue, second issue, I should say, was Woodrow Phoenix. But, I forgot to mention a little bit of backstory about Mark Miller working on Sonic comics. Mark Miller was, like, mostly working with, like, bigger things like 2000 AD, Marvel, DC, and so on. But he took on work for the Sonic comic to fund his wedding.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Most of his comics are just sort of one-off things, but a little generic, but they're fine. They're fine. I'm honestly disappointed they aren't more ridiculous. However, he does also end up working on a Streets of Rage comic later on that is much, much more up his alley.
I don't know his style specifically, so
it's, just sort of like very like 90s comic book sort of stuff. Very edgy, very absurd. Like, the Streets of Rage comic isn't necessarily diverge from the lore, but it does go with it in a heavy way. Like, it's about like these like the two good cops like quit the force so they can become vigilantes, and
all cops are bastards except these two, I guess, maybe.
Yeah,
except these two who just want to be vigilantes.
Yeah, that
they should just stayed as cops then. But
yeah, just so you can be cops with even less accountability.
Excellent.
Streets of Rage, however, I should note, has one really fun detail, just like the games themselves, and they lean into it a little bit in the comic, which is that the bomb system in Streets of Rage 1 is you call up the only good cop in the entire city to come over and provide like artillery support. The animation is literally him driving up behind you and firing a rocket launcher at the enemies. It's something.
hell yeah.
So on to our next story. Like I was saying before I went on a tangent, this comic's about a little squirrel guy named Tufty and his sister Sally Acorn, no relation to American Sally Acorn.
Yeah, she looks way different.
Yeah, she looks almost like a girl Tails.
Yeah.
I think, they're both squirrels, but she's got kind of that aesthetic. Sonic helps him out. He goes into the special zone. Yeah, Sonic beats up a bunch of badniks, and like we get the whole. That's about it for that one.
Yeah, it seems like the brother being saved wanted to be a superhero too, or whatever.
Yeah, and
he wanted to be. He grabbed one of Sonic's old pairs of sneakers.
Yeah. This comic has the weird thing where you can kind of tell that this is written by someone who wanted to do like Marvel or like DC comics, because everyone's hands in these are like very detailed. And I don't know why I'm focusing specifically on that, but it like grabs my attention how detailed their hands specifically are.
Now that I'm looking at it, yeah, they are kind of surprisingly detailed. Like, I know this is kind of...
like, it'll just be a shot of, like, a regular cartoon animal, and then there'll just be, like, a photo of, like, a regular hand in the shot, and it keeps, like, messing with me every single time I look at it.
Oh, that just reminds me of that, like, one thing that's, like, hey, can you spot the fetish of this artist? And then they have, like, a big, like, colorful mouth.
Yeah!
Yoshikage Kira drew these comics.
Like, literally! Because they look like regular cartoon animals until you get to their hands, and it's like, I'm gonna, like, detail each finger, make sure the shading's correct, like... It's frightening! I feel like Sonic's gonna reach out on my phone and grab me by my neck.
He is.
He's got hyper-realistic hands.
Hyper-realistic.
This is the new Sonic EXE.
I've had enough of hyper-realistic blood. Catch me with that hyper-realistic finger.
But yeah, this is kind of like a problem with like 90s Sonic comics in general, is that a lot of the people they get are like, you know, traditional traditional comic artists who, being the 90s, mostly work on superhero stuff and thus mostly draw humans.
Yep.
Like, eventually, when we get to, like, I'm sure it'll improve at some point in this comic, I don't know. But, like, eventually we get to a point in, like, the American comics where you're getting people who have, like, been drawing Sonic fan art since they were kids, and thus actually know how to draw Sonic.
Yeah.
That's so funny that, like, I feel like a lot of new stuff now is all gonna be, like, anything that would come out now. I don't know if any of the comics are still going, but, like, they would be...
The IDW comics are still going strong.
Huh.
Yeah. They actually, like, released a new miniseries. From what I hear, it was pretty good. I need to catch up. But yeah. The IDW series goes strong. So, moving on to our next issue. Hopping ahead a bit to issue 4.
Love this Sonic. Love
Yeah,
this robot Sonic.
This one's basically about Sonic fighting a robot Sonic. And I think this is like another like iteration of like Metal Sonic before Sonic CD came out. I feel like we've gone over one, but I can't be sure. But like,
I think you're right.
Yeah. But like this like interpretation it's much more like traditional Western cartoon robot.
Yeah.
His teeth!
He does have teeth. He's got a big bolt for a nose.
He has a piggy bank slot.
It seems like
he has a piggy bank coin slot.
Yeah. Yeah, like part of the thing in this one is like he's trying to like envelop Sonic and like get his power or whatever. They're all like exoskeletons or something. Like even Robotnik gets an exoskeleton for himself, which, you know, that's neat. It would be cool if Robotnik did more stuff like that. I can think of at least one other time that something where Robotnik like just gives himself cool armor instead of like a mech. And that's also in a comic, just an Ian Flynn comic from like 2014 or something. Not much else to go over for that one besides that. By the way, just want to mention, if you want some really, really in-depth stuff on this comic, like the background, like the people who worked on it, like what it was to like read it when you were the target audience, which is to say a 12-year-old in the UK circa 1994, listen to Sonic the Comic the podcast. I can't recommend it enough.
Cool.
Our next issue is
completely different art style.
Yeah, issue
Again.
6.
5?
No, issue 6. We skipped 5.
Okay, well 5 has a completely different art style.
Yeah. Issue 6, Attack on the Death Egg. This one, like, it looks way more like the, like, sort of concept art and promotional art you would see for Sonic games. To the point where I'm genuinely concerned there may have been tracing involved.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of very identical faces and panels. I suspect there was tracing involved. But this one's, we see this sort of like underground laboratory. As a reminder, this is like takes a lot from like the whole Sonic Bible story of like Dr. Kintobor and Sonic like training under him and all that. So in this one, we've got Sonic talking with, like, a computer owned by Dr. Kentibor with sort of his likeness on it. They have to go and, like, take out the Death Egg, which is... In this continuity is different, because generally it looks... The official design, generally, for the Death Egg is, like, a giant Robotnik head crossed with the Death Star. Whereas this is more the Death Star with an egg. Yeah, just an actual egg.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactamundo. Yeah, this one, not much to say other than, like, Sonic goes into the Death Egg with Tails and they fight Silver Sonic. At least I think that's his name. I think this guy's Silver Sonic. He's like the next to last boss you fight in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
It says Mega Droid. See the Sonic the Hedgehog game 2, Mega Droid.
Oh, Mega Droid is... Oh, I forgot to explain who Mega Droid is. So this comic has a mascot, Sonic the comic itself.
Oh.
He's called Mega Droid. He's basically an anthropomorphized Sega Genesis robot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mega Droid is commenting that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whenever they want to put like an author's note or whatever, they have Mega Droid do it as the sort of mascot character of the comic.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I thought Mega Droid was the name of the silver robot hedgehog.
Yeah. No, the silver robot hedgehog I think is named Silver Sonic. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, but yeah, Mega Droid is like the mascot in like, because this is 90s UK comic by like 2000 AD writers, he's got sort of like a sort of snark. He like makes jokes. Apparently this like had an influence on like other UK comics at the time. Like there was this Transformers comic in the UK which had a similar thing where like Starscream would like answer questions in character. But like the problem was like Megadroid is more like the cool adult, whereas Starscream in that is more like just an asshole.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know why, but I pictured Megadroid as the Toonami guy, Tom.
He does look kind of like Tom, yeah.
Oh, does he? That's funny.
Bit.
I just was because Tom's kind of like a cool, like adult-ish dude, just like giving you.
Who tells you it's cool to watch anime?
Yeah, he's like, hey, you want to check out this anime?
You know, he is sort of like a proto-Tom. Yeah, you can see him on like page 2 of every issue. He's in like one of the corners.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for issue 6. So let's hop ahead to... Do I have these in the wrong order? Let me just double check.
Is he this yellow guy?
Yeah, he's the yellow guy.
Okay. He's like a boxy yellow guy. He looks like one of the robots you would have in that Jackbox game where you rap. Kinda.
You know what? You know what he really does? He is a perfect fit for...
I always forget the name of it. It's fun. I just forget.
Yeah. The rapping robots game from Jackbox that I have forgotten the name of. But let's pop ahead to issue 7. I do want to note there is like a...
Madverse City.
Yeah, that's it. Madverse City, thanks.
Yeah.
This is when like the second run of like backup story starts. Like there's a Streets of Rage comic, a Kid Chameleon comic. I think this is the end of the Shinobi comic.
Wow, this first page of the issue 7 has a very strange
Lion Man?
animal. Lion Man looks a lot different style than...
Yeah,
he
looks like a... he looks... he does extremely look like something from a 90s UK cartoon.
Yes! Yep. Or like a Barbara...
Hanna-Barbera character.
Hanna-Barbera, thank you. I'm glad you got that from Barbara. Jesus.
But yeah, this story, there are fires going on in the oil ocean zone, and this guy Red needs like Sonic's help.
Sonic dies.
As he almost dies, and like he saves himself Sonic. With like this. Oh yeah, he like nearly get. Oh my god, I'm looking at this again. Like he literally is knee deep in oil as like a robot shoots fire.
Yeah, and this 90s comic guy just looks at Tails and said, I think he's dead. He just looks at Tails like your friend's gone, buddy.
Yeah.
Super Sonic has scary eyes.
Yeah, but yeah, emerging from the flames like a phoenix is one of this comic's like most iconic lore aspects, and probably like the one thing like most like casual Sonic fans know about it. It's Super Sonic. So like a thing in like about this Super Sonic is they figure since he's powered by Chaos Emeralds, he must have like chaotic energy. And that's what they do with him. He's like a twisted Sonic.
Sonic Joker style.
Yeah. He's getting a little bit twisted with it.
What if he was green instead of yellow?
Jokerfication.
Yeah.
And had red
Jokerfication.
Mouth. Oh, Joker Sonic.
And his head had damaged on it.
Yeah.
He laid down in a pile of knives that he sorted.
There are various characters who embody various aspects of the fucking Joker, baby. But
Jokerfication of Sonic.
This
By
is
the coward
probably
Sonic.
The most Joker-fied Sonic. Yeah. Like,
I'm sorry, I'm still not over this full-grown lion person man just next to all these Sonic characters.
Yeah.
It's very good.
This full-grown adult man just right next to Tails.
Right, because, like, the bunny doesn't look like it either.
Yeah.
The bunny looks like a Sonic character. This guy doesn't.
When you get older, you turn into a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
It's like they didn't want to design a spacesuit for, like, an animal, so they just put a guy in a suit and then just slapped a lion head on top.
Yeah. This is what Sonic will look like in 30 years.
Oh my god.
This is what Sonic looks like now. It's his 30th birthday.
It's been 30 years.
This is what Sonic Boom has been leading to.
Oh my god. This is why he's taller in Sonic Boom. No.
We've solved it. This will be him in the next game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
just a full-grown dude.
Yeah.
What if you could put a fucked up guy anywhere?
He is a fucked up guy. Super Sonic is like, just like skimming this issue, like it's more like he is Joker-fied. Like his motivations are just more extreme than before. But then like he calms down and like he's able to like chill out and everything's fine.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's gonna take them on before he... Was he gonna fight Tails or the bunny? Oh, he was gonna fight the bunny.
Yeah, like he got rid of the robot, but then he was gonna try to attack the bunny. It's like, but then like he calms down and it's fine. This is the thing about Sonic in this continuity is that he can get a little twisted with it if he goes chaos mode.
God, me too.
So, hopping on ahead to the first two-parter of this series, issue 8, yeah. The long and short of it is, like, Sonic takes some of Tails and some Flickies. These guys, like, these two Flickies will actually eventually, like, by the next time we talk about this comic, will look different and be different. Their names are Johnny Lightfoot and Porker Lewis.
Porker
right now they look,
Lewis.
yeah,
Porker Lewis.
yeah. Right now they just look like Flickies, but like in a couple issues from now they're going to look more traditionally anthro, and they, unlike Sonic and Tails, will wear clothing.
Porker Lewis can't lose.
He can't. So, Sonic takes these four into, I guess, the special zone, and like from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and they meet up with this like big face monitor guy. Let me see what his name is.
Living Tribe.
The omnipotent Omni Viewer.
Oh, he's just gonna go fight God.
He's just gonna have a fun chat with God.
Yeah, Sonic.
He's gonna ask God to show him the like promotional comic that tells like the origin of Sonic.
He's gonna show me a fucked up looking Eggman.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Kintobor looked like before he turned into Eggman.
He's not chubby enough.
It's good thing he's Eggman now, because I think I hate Dr. Kintobor.
Damn.
I hate looking at this dude. His eyes are too small.
His eyes are very small.
Yeah.
Like, he feels more soulless than Dr. Eggman does. I don't know why.
I love that Sonic runs so fast, his pines, like, fuse together and turn blue.
You know, I'm looking at this guy's design, and I'm thinking he looks like if the Dr. Kintobor part of the Sonic origin story were in the movie, this was what he would look like. It's Jim Carrey in a bald cap with a big mustache.
Yeah! This is the discount Jim Carrey.
But he has so much less charisma than Jim Carrey.
That's the
Because he's a
discount
fucking
part.
comic.
That's
Yeah.
the discount part. That's why I don't trust this man.
But yeah, he goes through like the whole like, you know, the Sonic Bible story. Sonic works with Dr. Kintobor. A lab accident happens. He becomes Robotnik and Sonic turns blue. So once they're done watching this, they get attacked by Dr. Robotnik. And that's the end of part 1. So, moving on to the next issue where we can talk about part 2. Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik attacks them, so the omnipotent Omni Viewer teleports them as nearby as he can. As nearby back to where they started. Which, as it turns out, is like a couple months later, like 6 months or something. And they find out Dr. Robotnik took over in those 6 months while they were gone.
I love this weird Batnik green.
Yeah.
Alien man.
This
guy looks...
It feels... It looks like the Godzilla, like the 90s Godzilla movie. Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like, I look at that and
Yeah.
I feel like it came from, like, a bad CGI movie.
But yeah, these guys, but like, not these guys specifically, but the next guys who show up later on are sort of they're basically the SWAT bots,
They
the
are the
goon
secret
robots.
police.
You know, they definitely went hard on the imagery for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of like Judge Dredd cyborg motherfuckers who.
I wonder if that's why they look like that, because
Yeah.
the Judge Dredd people worked on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of I read 1984 once in high school going on right here.
Yeah. They insult, they bully around the like local populace of cartoon animals, sort of in that sort of like 90s British way where it's like, haha, we're fascists and we don't care about you. The way people write bad guys when you're in the UK in the late 20th century. But like Sonic fights them, I think he liberates the Green Hill Zone. And Robotnik knows he's back, so the fight is on. Or at least it would be on if there weren't time for. Well, yeah, the fight's on.
The fight is on.
So let's hop ahead to issue 9. I think issue 10.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Is it a 3-parter? Because issue 10 also has these red fucks.
No, I think it's just a 2-parter. Like they establish what's going on, and
Gotcha.
then from there it's that. So yeah, there's like a filler. So issue 10, like the first proper story in this new world. It's like Sonic like breaking into the chemical plant zone to liberate the animals enslaved there. Like during this like issue, he like goes in disguise as like a
Yeah, I was
penguin.
waiting for this to be the coolest
Yeah.
penguin I've ever met in my life.
But no, it's just Sonic.
It's just the coolest hedgehog I've ever
Yeah.
met in my life. Still not the penguin though.
I don't know if I know he adopts this guy's at least one other time in a filler issue. We're not talking about that one, but I don't know. This might be like a regular disguise for him. I don't know.
It's disgusting slime, man.
Yeah. While Sonic is like rescuing all the fun cartoon animals, he runs into like this living goop person called the Mega Mac.
Yeah, he jumps into the tubby custard.
No, that's exactly what it is. But like with a face.
It's if the tubby custard wanted revenge.
The tubby custard got sucked up by that vacuum.
Tubby custard has had enough.
He's like a scientist that like was working on this thing, and then he got merged into the chemicals and became just a living organism of goo. But like Sonic is able to like fight him off, and they escape. I fucking love the Mega Mac. This is some next level stuff.
It's peak performance.
This looks like it was really fun to draw too.
Yeah.
He looks like he's... This is like peak performance. Like the ideal body is this.
This is the ideal human form. You may not like it, but this is it.
This is my 2021 body goals right here. Just a giant organism of goo.
Yeah. And the last thing I just wanted to quickly mention is like, there's another filler issue. This time, the evil Sonic is like coming out of like the 1-up monitors. I don't know. I'm like trying to like figure out what happened here. I guess he's just one of Sonic's extra lives.
Yeah.
Sonic Life.
Yeah. Yeah, Sonic fights him and wins.
What if every time Mario gained lives, you had to fight other Marios to steal their mushroom lives?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
just the
What
like
if
soul.
when Mario died and yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I was gonna say just the soul mechanic from Hollow Knight.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
literally Bloodborne and Hollow Knight, isn't it?
Yeah, where
Whatever.
you just have to fight for your life back.
It's literally Hollow Knight. Literally, I've played this game so much. You're literally fighting your shade. Ah! Okay.
Yeah. That would be amazing, actually, yeah.
If you go to play Mario and you get a 1-up and just another Mario starts fighting you.
Or what if Sonic has to outrun their shade and outrun his shade instead?
Ooh.
Win him in a
That's some
best him in
That's some
in a
Sonic.exe part 2 stuff right there.
Yeah.
race.
Let's see. Some other things to go over. I think that's like all the important stuff. While we were talking about this, they started a new Echo comic and a new Golden Axe comic. The Echo the Dolphin comic, I just want to quickly mention, is like, it's got like this real high concept artsy stuff going on. Like, this first issue looks relatively normal, but like, as it goes on, it gets like real abstract and cool with the imagery. It's neat, and I respect it. Oh yeah, and also the Decap Attack comic is going, which is sort of like the fun comedy British thing where it's got a much more cartoony art style. There's like a joke in one of these where we find out like his 3 health hearts are literally like 3 beating hearts in his body. And when he
Does it do the cartoon thing where it like bump 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 bump, but it's all 3 of them?
But yeah, that's the basis of Sonic UK for now. I sent out for asks a month ago, and I don't remember if anyone ever responded. Let me just check. Oh, yeah.
Looks like there's some in the Discord, at least.
Yeah, in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, these are all from December 9th. This episode is being recorded on January 7th. In retrospect, I maybe should have just, like, checked, like, hey, we finally are getting around to this. Maybe I should have, like, seen if anyone wanted to answer a question, but I think it'll be fine for now.
It'll be fine. If they have questions, they can ask them for the next episode.
Yeah. So, friend of the show, Jasmine Marsh, Sidmon asks, have you ever convinced yourself you invented something, but later found out it already existed?
I feel like this has happened before, but I can't think of something specific. Like,
yeah,
I think I'm gonna come up with like a cool video game idea, and then I'm like, oh, that exists already.
I feel like the closest I can come to that is like, I'm sure at some point in my underclassmen years of high school, I wrote up a TV tropes page for a trope that already existed. I feel like that's had to have happened at some point.
I'm pretty sure there was one time where I was just doing random writing and for a creative writing club that was at my school, and I shared it with them, and someone looked me dead in the eye and said I just invented Supernatural. And I think that was the most painful moment of my entire life.
Oh my god.
Also, I realized I said that, and then I'm like, wait, that just happened in this podcast. I literally thought I was coming up with something with Mario, and you were like, oh, that's Hollow Knight. That just happened. Oh my god. So I guess this just happens so often that I just it doesn't even faze me anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes it be like that.
Next, next question from Jasmine. If you had to stop a time loop from happening, how would you break it? I guess I don't know.
Time
I
shit's
guess
hard.
maybe we could interpret this as like, if what would like the ideal thing in like a time loop scenario where the one thing you gotta do to break it, what would you want?
Okay.
I think that's what it's. Maybe something like that.
I want it to be something like goofy, like, oh, I should have picked the chocolate ice cream instead. You know, like something like very simple. Just so I could solve it quickly. Because I don't want it to be like a whole movie ass, Groundhog Day ass worth of shit happening. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to have to come to like an emotional epiphany and find something about myself. I just want to be like, can I just go left instead?
Right. I mean, left.
I have to complete every route in a relatively short visual novel. Like, do a route every day. Do a route every loop, I mean.
I have to actually play through all of Higurashi in one day. It never happens.
Yeah, I need to play that too. It's just so long.
Exactly. That's why you never break out of the loop.
Or, like, what if it has to be like, oh, you have to beat... I've been playing a lot of Hades lately, so, like, what if you have to beat it without using a single Death Defiance, and then you can fucking break the loop? And I'd be like, well, I guess I'm just fucking stuck here. It's fine. I'm not good at video games.
Yeah, you have to put on every heat, then go through it without using a single Death Defiance, and I'm just like, oh, I guess I'm playing this for the rest of my life then.
That's fine.
Or another read I've got is like, since we're going with like the roguelike thing, maybe just like eventually, like, if I complete a run, like I complete a run, but every time, like, every like incremental thing that would like make me better is like erased. Something like that.
Oof. Yeah.
Like I lose all my darkness bonuses. Yeah. But I have to get a victory by the end of one of the loops. So...
And then you die in.
Let's see. James the Cat Girl asks, should the next Sonic game be called Sonic Reach, and are you ready for it?
I'm reaching for it.
Yeah.
Would Sonic have a gun? It's more of Shadow's thing.
I was about to say that's just Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I remember she was like playing through like the Halo Master Chief collection around this time.
Gotcha.
You know what? Maybe Sonic should be Halo.
Maybe Sonic should be Master Chief.
Maybe Sonic
should fight. Maybe Sonic should fight the Weird Ape.
Oh,
maybe Sonic should fight the Weird Ape.
Sonic Master Chief.
There's gotta be loads of fanfic of Sonic.
Well, we know there's, like, Master Chief Harry Potter, so yeah. At least these are two video games.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got to look up the words Sonic Master Chief on Google, and whatever the most entertaining result is, I will make this episode's, like, album art.
Fuck yeah. Do you want me to read the next question while you do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
From Flutterdark in the Discord, what's the best time travel model you have seen? I feel like it depends because, like, I feel like the media really, like, the medium that it's used in really, like, matters for it. Like, also, the only time travel I can think of right now are, fucking Donnie Darko and Homestuck, which, okay, I don't even know if those are, I wouldn't say those are the best. I think Donnie Darko is fucking weird, and I didn't get it when I watched the movie. I had to, like, read it afterwards, and then, I mean, I don't know enough about Homestuck, but I know it's a lot. I know there's a lot going on with that time travel stuff.
I don't know. I'll just say the DeLorean. That's cool.
Oh yeah,
Or
nice
the
and
time
simple.
train from the third movie.
All
Or,
time travel things got erased from my mind the moment that question was asked.
Shit, truly.
I'm gonna say the time travel in the third Harry Potter book, only because I like the reading on Shrieking Shack is that you can only use it to do things that are completely useless and inconsequential. And I like the idea of just having time travel powers, but all you can do is like go to the store and buy eggs before the store closes or something.
Yeah.
I do like that. I wish that had kept up, you know?
Yeah, well, I wish J.K. Rowling wasn't a turf, but
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I wish you.
so I forgot I watched this because I didn't watch any of the other ones, but I watched a movie with Keanu Reeves. Oh, Bill and Ted. I never watched the other two, but I saw the third one, and they just use like a booth, like a telephone
phone
booth. And I just remember liking that movie because their daughters are extremely gay.
Bill and Ted is good.
All right, let's roll for this week. Next week. Oh my god, we got another one. That means
Game time, baby.
Yeah, next time we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Nice.
Sonic 2.
Two.
Oh boy, that'll be fun. Yeah, so let's take it to the close. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places, and you can find all those places at linktr.ee/Mike Mike Dawson with a 0. From there, you can visit my Twitter. You can listen to the other podcasts I'm on, which include Pod of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm not on the latest episode by the time you hear this, but that one has a friend of the show, Roy. They'll be talking about GX. GX is really good. Watch it if you can. It's like free online.
Yeah, I've got to say, GX has been like a light in these dark times. It is just so much fun.
You can listen to Stranger's Fiction, an actual play podcast focused on one-shots. The most recent episode I was in, we played Stew Pot, and we made a sort of like Paradise Island, in a cave city in like modern fantasy Colorado. Let's see. You can listen to Disney Minus, which, like I said, I decided to leave. I was just getting tired of being on it, but the last episode I'm on, which will be up by the time you listen to this, is on Beverly Hills, Chihuahua. It's a movie. It's a movie about talking dogs and Mexico, and it's not very good, I don't think. And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. Happy AGDQ, Xbox. Yeah. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. It's also my Tumblr, but I hardly use that. And you can also find me on my Hunter X Hunter podcast called Departure Lounge. It's been longer than it's been for this podcast that anything's been posted, but it's still good and you should listen, and I'm gonna definitely put one out before this fucking month is up. I promise. It's good, it's fun, it's my first time through it. And my co-pilots are awesome, and yeah. That's it, really, for now, at least. Devon.
You can find my Twitter at Grooving Ghastly. You can also find my Hunter x Hunter podcast at Gone Will Hunting at Twitter. We just got into the 3rd season, and that's going to be the one where we all just start screaming because it's very good. So give that a listen if you want to hear us just yell. Kropika got some new bling and it looks amazing. Yeah.
Great. And you can find us on Twitter at ShuffleSonic. And from there you can find our Discord, which is, it's linked there. You can talk about Sonic with us. I'll be honest, we're not a very active Discord server. Sometimes things get posted, but not always. But you can ask questions on there at any time on our channel, the Ask Zone. So, like, if you ever want to send in a question to the podcast, you can go there. All right. And, as always, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He is the only blue life that matters.
The only one.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.